Okay. It's all good. You guys, if you could help me out and let me know if you can see and hear me all right. If that's good, we can crack on, can't we? It's usually okay, but we really need it confirmed because there's nothing worse than me just talking to myself and you guys just can't hear or the visuals rubbish. So we're waiting for the lag. It's about 10 seconds. Here we go. Straight off the bat, engineer to succeed. Hi, Matt. Good to see you again, dude. First off the bat, awesome. So 5x5, brilliant. So it's good. Excellent. Thank you for everyone to who's confirmed. That's awesome. Right. Whilst we're waiting for a few people to jump on board the live stream, live this Friday, the 8th of March, 2024, we've got 287 here right now, which is very good for under 1 minute. That's pretty cool. So you guys, it looks like you guys are getting the notifications because you subscribe to the channel. Incidentally, if you want to chat away in the live chat right now, you're going to need to subscribe first. It's one of the ways which lots of us content creators are getting around all sorts of stupid rules and trolls and bots. It is what it is. So yeah, it's looking good. Everyone's coming along. Brilliant. Looks like all the gang's here. That's right, Matt. 343. Brilliant. So, like I say, once we wait for a few to join, we're going to go through a few things. Incidentally, if you're watching this right now on the replay, i.e. not watching it live, if you really want to get stuck into the content and you want to skip past all of this sort of warm-up live stream chat, most of us content creators do this now. It's just a chance to make sure everyone can turn up. So if you want to skip forward 10 minutes, go for it, okay? It's currently 4 minutes right now. If you skip to 10 minutes, you should be there or thereabouts to listen to the real stuff we're talking about, because we are, believe it or not, at breaking point. Now we're going to go into some of this because the stuff that's just come out today about not just the British Army with the numbers down, recruitment figures, etc. We are seeing trends in the US. Now this, after analysing this all day, I've come to the conclusion that this is part of the grand plan for basically fighting age male migrants to be completely taking over all Western countries. This is absolutely all part of that agenda. So skip forward to 10 minutes or so and we'll crack into that. Right now, we are at the brink of just crossing over 133,000 YouTube subscribers. You guys are freaking awesome. That figure still blows my mind. It's way bigger than the biggest stadium we've got in the UK, packed full of people, and another stadium as well. It's nuts. So on a personal note, I'd love to thank every one of you who has subscribed to my YouTube channel and supporting me, which is mind-blowing. So we have got now, I've just checked, 167 members in the Funky Fam. 167. You guys, honestly, with that support, that seriously helps, like big time. Now listen to this. In the last 28 days alone, we have gained an extra 2,532 new subscribers. That's awesome. And it's mainly down to you guys who have been sharing my videos. I always try and remember to say that. It's so important, because if no one shared my videos, we wouldn't be able to hit so many new people, new subscribers, new members, because what we are seeing in the live chat right now on this YouTube channel, it's growing crazy. We are getting new people, not just come along for a one-off, they're coming back over and over again. And some of you regulars who have been in the live chat for a while now, it's absolutely noticeable now that this is growing crazy. We've got nearly 600 people here already in under 5 minutes. Whoa, seriously cool. So guess what? The live stream that I've done recently, a few weeks ago now, about the European uprising and the big problems we've got going all over Europe with the farmers and everything. Do you know what? That's just gone past 450,000 views. That's blown my mind. My biggest live stream before that was 150,000 when we talked about the migrants going mental at the people in Cornwall. That's at 150,000. This is 450,000 and it's growing every single day. So it's quite obvious that that video has been shared on big channels, whether it's Facebook, TikTok, other YouTube channels, or whatever it is. That link for that video has been shared. And this is what happens. So I'm appealing to everyone watching this, if you can, really help, is to copy the link under this video and share it to as many Facebook groups, Signal groups, Telegram groups, WhatsApp groups, all of that. It really helps. It seriously does. Earlier on, I went over to Twitter because I've got a Twitter account, or it's called X now. I went over there and I've just gone past 1,302 followers on Twitter, which is awesome. If you want links to all of my other social media stuff and everything else, it's all in the description box underneath all of my videos. So please feel free to click show more, go underneath this video, and you'll find links to Twitter, Instagram, BRECON, Rumble, Odyssey. I'm on all of them. Okay. So whatever floats your boat, if you support any of those platforms, you can find me there. Okay. On Instagram, I've just gone past 3,568 followers as well. It would have been about 12,000 by now. But some of you know, in 2020, for all sorts of weird reasons behind the scenes, I had to close my long-term Instagram account, which at that point had nearly 8,000 followers on there. Completely deleted it, had to start from scratch. So that's the current situation with Instagram. The sponsored walk, which has been really gratefully received, especially by Carl. If you're watching, thank you very much. And because I've gone past halfway for the donations of the sponsored walk, they sent me a t-shirt, as you can see there. Where is it? That side. Combat Stress. There we go. March for March. So if you didn't know, I'm going to be embarking not 10 but 11 miles walking with my kit on across the mountains of Wales to support Combat Stress. If you don't know what that is, it's a charity set up mainly for veterans here in the UK who are suffering post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD. Personally, I've got a friend who is being treated at the Leatherhead Centre near the M25 in London. And that's Russ, a mate of mine. Some of you remember Russ a long time ago. Contact Right 007 on YouTube a long time ago. So I'm personally going to be supporting him and all of the good work that Combat Stress do. So if you want to go over and donate, you don't have to, but even if it's just £1 or £5, it all adds up. And that link is below this video too. And I will be doing that walk this month. So if you are subscribed and you've got that notification bell ticked, you will be notified as I'm leading up to that sponsored walk. I'm going to be doing some training as well. So I might even do some of the training videos of what I'm doing to get into shape to tackle full kit across all of the inclines and mountains across mid Wales, 11 miles of it. Yeah, I'm not just saying stuff, I'm walking the walk, literally. So what else have we got? Yes, a friend of mine has set up a trade centre in Wales, BRECON, to be honest, in the town of BRECON. Now, if you're in and around the area or you're on your way there for whatever reason, pop in. It's really cool. There is a link to that underneath this video. It's a Facebook group and it's all about trading stuff for preppers. So no money changes hands. Okay, so if I was you and you're interested, get yourself a little day sack, put some kit in there which you don't want anymore, go down there, look at the stuff that you want and do a trade with the stuff. A deal. You don't have to spend any money. It's really cool. We're trying this out. I've supported my mate from Dot with this, and it's good because when I mentioned this Facebook group last week, it had 34 followers, and when I checked just before I went on air now, it's up to 128 followers. So that group on Facebook is growing. Now we really need to get behind grassroots groups like this because we need to figure out a way to get by without money. So this is basically a very, very well planned, organized experiment to see how communities get by with trading and bartering. So if you're interested in that, go underneath this video right now or whenever you want to, and it's called FB Group about prepper trade, and the link's there. It will take you straight there. So join that group if you want to get updates and deals with like freeze-dried food and all herbal stuff. It's really, really worth a look. Okay. Also, a merch store. I've just set it up finally. You guys have been banging on for ages about merch, and yes, I'm really sorry because it's taken so long. I just had to find the company that was good enough, and I believe I have. So if you wanted to, you are going to be offered really cool mugs like this with the logo on there. Now, incidentally, the glaze inside is really thick. Some of these cheap mugs, what happens is after about 6 cups of coffee, all of that glaze fades and it stains. These ones are really good. I've used that ages now. Incidentally, someone wanted to know about t-shirts. These are 100% organic, really good quality cotton, and it's got the logos on there. That's extra large. And yes, if you want sizes which stay the same, they do. I'm an XL, an extra large, and that's been washed a few times. I've tried it on, it hasn't shrunk. So they are true to their sizes. So if you're a large, get a large, etc. So that link is below this video. If you want to get your own store and sell your own t-shirts or your own stickers or whatever you want to do, because I know lots of you guys want to create stuff, there's a link below that. Go onto there and it will take you straight through and set it up. It's really simple. But the link to my shop isn't going to be available as it takes 48 hours to clear. I only set it up about half an hour to an hour ago. So Monday, Tuesday, the merch store should be under the videos with the links. Pretty much that. Right. We're just going through. Oh, congratulations. We've got, what's that? DBE yourselves. DBE yourselves. Whatever that is. Thank you for becoming a new member. That's really, really cool. And also, well, thank you very much to John Baldwin. Yes, the mods are excellent, by the way. Thank you for that donation, sir. That really, really helps. Also, speaking of donations, thanks to Alan, Sue, and Elizabeth for donating just before we went on air. That's really, really kind and appreciative. Forgive me if I'm not going to be mentioning everyone because we got stuff to get through, and I'll try and catch up with you guys who are supporting this channel financially. It really helps at the end of this live stream. So what we are going to do, we're waiting for 1,000. We got 868. We're not far away from literally running with it. Okay, so just quickly, where are you guys are you from? That'd be really cool because, like I said, we got an extra nearly over 2,500 new subscribers, and it's really interesting for us in the community to see where everyone is, because it really is nice to see where. Oh, bloody hell, hot sauce. Bo, how's it going, dude? Bo, bloody hell, hot sauce. Keep an eye out for I Am a Slave to No Man. You guys have met already, which is cool. Pilgrim, good to see you there, Jay. Awesome. Wow. We got some people in the house. We have Rustic Journals in Aberdeenshire. Brilliant. We got Craig. It is in Valhalla already. Right, who else have we got here? We got John Platt is over in NI. How you doing, sir? Good to see you. Wow, we got some new people in the house. There's loads of people. We got Bill Wilkins up in Northumberland. Fantastic. Really cool. Oh, look. Not today, Satan, in Norwich. I hope you're well, dude, and you're okay. If you fancy a chat, just send me an email because that email address is below this video. You've been missed, and I like the picture of little Schwabi poos on the side. That's really cool. Not today, Satan. Welcome back. It's been great to see you again, dude. Seriously. It's really hard to click on this because it's moving constantly. Right. Here we go. Slave to No Man. Chili BRECON. XMR Pitfire. SOPJ, fair play, mate. Fair play. It's a bit windy down here, mate. I don't know what it's like where you are. Wow. So we got Guna. All right there, sir. The other side of Seven Sisters. He's up in Lancs now. Fair shout. Who have we got here? Wolfsig over in Norwich. We got Snoopy. Oh, wow. We got someone from New York in America. Awesome. Good to see you, sir. Brilliant. Wow. 920. I think. What's this? Oh, God. Thank you. Am female. Oh, my. Not today, Satan. I presumed you were a bloke. Never mind. How was I to know? You got a strong arm there. And Satan. Anyway. Yeah. Sorry about that. Right. Who else we got here? Blimey, blimey, blimey. We've got all sorts in here. Crikey, crikey. We've got Katie Smithius over in Essex. Who else have we got? We got Overland Bushcrafter in Finland. Wow, how cool is that? Brilliant, spot on. Awesome, 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 awesome. We have Rachel Gregory, the artist, and from my living room downstairs. Hey, honey. Yes, my partner is in the house and she don't take no prisoners. Right, okie dokie. Wow. Oh my God, I didn't expect this. Thank you to Robert, Elizabeth, and Margaretha. Thank you for those kind donations on PayPal. That's really cool. And Nightshade, good to see you again. Awesome. Right, okay then. Without further ado, I think it's time we got stuck in. We're 16 minutes from the start, so apologies for you guys who wanted to jump straight into it. We had a few things to mention. So yes, that's really, really cool. So now would be a good time to hit the thumbs up. One of the things I always do when I join a live stream, before I get stuck into the chat, I just quickly go to the thumbs up and it's done. You haven't got to think or worry or forget, etc. I don't know. There's 946 people in the chat right now. I've got no idea how many people have clicked the thumbs up. So if you can do that, it really helps. Apparently, the AI algorithm on YouTube tends to let more people see it, the more thumbs up it's got. So the more that you guys do that, the more it helps. Seriously, seriously good. And yeah, if you want to support, like some of you guys have done already, the links are underneath this video, PayPal and all the rest of it. There's all sorts of other deals with kit and equipment. This has just been updated. So if you're in the market for stuff to help out, you're going to save money. All of those discount links are right under this video. It's available worldwide. Okay. So you guys, if you need kit, check out the links below, see what you need and go for it. Also, there will be a newsletter coming out Monday. Apologies for last Monday. Stuff's going on and it's just been nuts. Like I said, if you want to take part in the live chat, you're going to need to subscribe before you do. You can subscribe and join the chat in seconds. You haven't got to wait. All right. So that is pretty much it. So now we are going to crack on with the show. So I'm just going to jump out of the chat so we can see what's going on. Jonathan, thank you for that on PayPal. You guys are legends. Right, so the stuff that's been going on has been insane. So what I'm going to do is we're going to start the show with this. This only came out today, and it's absolutely shocking news, okay? What I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that you guys can see it on full screen, because sometimes it's easier to read. There we go. Let me know in chat if you can read what's on the screen quite easily. Now look at this. Whew, you ready? Size of the UK Armed Forces shrinks by more than 7,000 personnel in 1 year. So this was right up to January the 1st this year. So this is all of last year. 7,000 military in the UK have left. This is not bullshit, okay? Military chiefs, are increasingly concerned about recruitment. We have been talking about military and the police, law enforcement. The recruitment figures are so far down You would not believe it. It's historic. Never before has recruitment been so low about the police and armed forces here in the UK. And we're going to go through some stats and data later, which will absolutely blow your mind. This stuff really needs to be looked at. Okay. Now, like I said, the links which I've made with this, with the migrants, with citizenship and the eligibility to join the armed forces, we are going to see a massive shift in fighting age migrants join the armed forces and the police over the next 24 months. Yes, you won't believe how many. 14% of the UK population are now migrants. 14%. Let that sink in. Please share the link on this video as far and wide as you can. We need everyone to be talking about this because this is not being discussed, and it friggin' well absolutely should be. So this was today. So 2:15 this afternoon, this jumped into the fray and we have been deciphering it. So if you want to read this article in its entirety, there is a link below this video where you can read all of it yourself, just to prove that none of this has been doctored. It's all via official URL with a mainstream news source. Okay, what have you got? The total number of people to join the regular armed forces last year contracted by 8%, or 890. 800 people last year joins the military in the UK. Can you believe that? That's not even 1,000 people. Look at this, compared to 10,680 people who joined in 2022. That is frigging shocking. That is shocking right there. 890 people joined the military last year. In 2022, it was nearly 11,000 people joined up. So the figure for new joiners was significantly smaller than the number of people leaving. Yes, 16,140 people left the military last year in 12 months. 890 joined, 16,000 left. Look at this. One of the sources described as a general collapse in the flow of new recruits into the service. Wow. Collapse. These are strong words, people. Like I said, that article is available if you wish to click the link under this video, so you can absolutely read that in its entirety. It's that shocking, actually. So let's have a check. Look at this. So you go into Google, which is what most people use. You don't have to. You can use whatever search engine you want. It'd be interesting to see the results now, because different search engines are throwing up different results, which is bonkers. Look at this. 18 hours ago, right? United States Army plans to cut 32,000 jobs as a restructuring effort. Okay, so we're going to go into that.
Recruitment issues continue to plague the U.S. Army.
But now it plans to cut 32,000 jobs as part of a restructuring effort. CBS 17's Justin Moore is live to get answers for us on how this will affect Fort Liberty. Justin.
Yeah, Congressman Richard Hudson says that a lot of those vacant job cuts will come from the special forces right here at Fort Liberty.
The U.S. Army is restructuring to modernize and transform warfighting.
You know, we are radically infusing these new capabilities into our formations.
Lieutenant General Christopher Donahue at Fort Liberty says the Army is relying more on sophisticated technology like drones for combat than boots on the ground.
We're building an Army that can deter into the future and building in both the right structure and type of people.
In Class 9,
These changes come as the Army struggles with recruiting, making it impossible to bring in enough soldiers to fill all job positions, leading the Army to eliminating tens of thousands of positions, including 3,000 Special Operations Forces positions. Republican Congressman Richard Hudson says many of those cuts will happen at Fort Liberty.
One of the greatest honors of my life is I get to represent the men and women at Fort Bragg, Fort Liberty.
In a statement, Hudson says it's bad enough the U.S. Army is facing the worst recruiting crisis in decades. Now we find out the Army is cutting its Special Operations Forces. The Army should be focused on ensuring our soldiers are most prepared, equipped, lethal fighting force in the world.
I'm confident that we are ready to go and solve any problem.
Wow. So like I said, I only found that out when I finished aligning all of these slides and research for this presentation. So that's really put the cat amongst the pigeons. We are not talking about military cuts in the UK. It's happening in America too. Now, let me know if you're in Canada and anywhere in Europe. Are you seeing military cuts in your countries? Because I suspect, based on all of the other dots that I've been connecting for 16 months now, that this is all linked into a takeover of the West by fighting age male-only migrants. This is all part of the plan. Now, if I get intel and data basically glossing the fact that not just the US and UK, but Canada, Australia, and European countries, if they are seeing cuts as well in military, I highly suspect this to be the case. I'm not really seeing anyone else on YouTube talking about this. So if you can please share this video, excuse me, it would really, really help. We need to start getting ready for this stuff. They're not really talking about all of this in its entirety on most of the outlets out there. So this is looking pretty damn scary. So let's just go back. Completely nuts. This is from Forces Network. Honestly, if you go into Google and type in army cuts and scroll down, you're going to be shocked. Seriously going to be shocked, okay? Now, we're going to go on to this. This was quite nuts because if the UK and I suspect Western countries are cutting all of our armed forces, there has been some talk recently about conscription. Do you remember that? It wasn't that long ago. So we're going to have a look at that and the law. All right. It's very, very interesting. So I urge you guys to share this video if you can, while we show you this, because this is nuts. Right. Okay. This was in January, so not that long ago now. Fears are mounting of military call-up. Could conscription really return to the UK? It'd be nice if they put some modern stuff. The British Army stopped using DPM years ago. Anyway, we're going to go down and hopefully we're going to find this. Look at this. After 1945, the National Service Act 1948 brought in peacetime conscription. New changes meant males aged 17 to 21 were required to serve in the armed forces for 18 months and remain on the reserve list for 4 years. In 1950, during the Korean War, the service period was extended to 2 years to compensate for the longer service. The reserve period was decreased by 6 months. Now listen to this, boys and girls. This is the icing on the cake. By 1963, the UK had officially become a conscription-free nation, having transitioned to voluntary enlistment. So there you have it. That should set the record straight that the UK is conscription-free, unless they changed the law. And to be fair, with what happened in 2020 with the Emergency Powers Act, etc., they could absolutely use a crisis or an emergency to bring in any sort of laws that they want. The question is, how many people are going to say, yes, I'm going to go and fight for this great nation? Why do you think the recruitment figures in the UK for all the armed forces and the police are so crap? Why do you think that is? The royal family has never been as unpopular as it is right now. The UK government has never been as unpopular as it is right now. More and more and more people are seriously pissed off with what is happening, not just here in the UK, America, Canada, Europe, and Australia. Look at what happened in Argentina recently and Venezuela. Remember? Yeah. Look at what's been happening in the Netherlands, in Holland. Look at what's been happening in Italy. New prime ministers, new leaders, new ideologies. The tide is changing. And we need to keep an eye on the ball, because if we don't, we could find ourselves a lot worse off than what we already are. Now, as we go through this presentation with the things I want to discuss, this is from someone called Liz Webster on X, used to be Twitter. So if we scroll down here, look at this. I've highlighted what I need to read out for you guys. Unlike for French and Germans who led for force before the UK had committed no tanks or other armoured vehicles. Germany committed 8,000 troops, including an armoured infantry brigade, an entire brigade. Wow. And we gave nothing. Nothing. Tusa, we all know who he is, said that over the past 2 years, he has spoken to generals, admirals, and air marshals across Europe and beyond who had expressed concern about the UK's mismatch between the capabilities it presented and what they saw on the ground. In other words, the UK military in operations around the world have been talking complete bollocks. Absolute complete bollocks. He said one European NATO general told him last year that the UK can't put a brigade in the field and has kit falling apart. This is how disgusting the UK military is right now. It's absolutely insane. So, when we just talked about conscription, yes, now this debate was quite interesting. This is from Le Monde, not that long ago. It was today, 9 o'clock, over in Paris. Now listen to this. Sanders argued that the UK should follow the Swedish example and take predatory steps to enable placing our societies on a war footing, adding that such action is not merely desirable, but essential. Sweden recently reintroduced a form of military service. Downing Street has denied that it's working on such a scenario, calling it hypothetical. The UK MOD has also distanced itself from the general's comments, insisting on the British Army's proud tradition of being a voluntary force. Yes. Who knew about that? Sweden. So other countries are having some sort of national service, incentives, etc., to build some sort of defensive force. What are we seeing in the West? The opposite. Let me know in the live chat what you think about all of this stuff. And if you're watching on the replay, hell, go free in the comments. Say what you think. Because we all need to read stuff and have a much broader viewpoint on all of this crap that's going on. Now, like I said earlier, with all of the evidence showing just how crazy it is. In fact, we're going to show you some of this right now. Now, before we do, check this out. UK military is too small to fight, United States generals warn. troop numbers are likely to fall below 70,000 within the next 2 years, casting doubt on the country's combat capabilities, especially the British Army. Wow. A senior United States general told Ben Wallace, a former defense secretary, that Britain was barely a two-tier military power. Who would have thought that we would be reading this in 2024? So, should we see the decline? It's crazy. Now, this is 2018. Yeah, I know. 6 years ago. Crazy. Look at the size differences. The size, this is in the UK and Britain, right? So in 1982, so we're talking Cold War era, the size of the UK Armed Forces, 327,600 personnel. Look at it now, 150,000. This was a few years ago. It's declined even more. Unbelievable. The regular army in 1982 was over 163,000. 4 years ago, it dropped to 85,000. Look at the tanks, 900, and then there's 227. But look at the bloody fighter planes. Now, you do need air superiority in any major conflict, especially as a defensive role. Look at this, 1982, 467 UK warplanes and strike fighters. 2018, 185. Oh my God. It just gets worse. You don't need me to read what's already on the screen. Okay. So look at this. British Army regulars in numbers. Now look at this. Wow. So we're going right back to 1817, just after the Napoleonic Wars. 92,000 British military personnel. Okay. There was more then than there was in 2020. 82,000. They're saying it's around or less than 70,000 now, which is insane. We're getting to the age of 1652 when bloody Cromwell was taking the piss out of Ireland. Do you remember that in history? It's that bad. The losses of the servicemen here in the UK are literally being erased. Unbelievable. Now, if you want to see this, look at the trends. This is how much the decline has been from 1984 right down to 2020. 5.5% down to 2.1. So basically what this is this is defense spending part of the GDP. So the gross domestic product, what the country produces, the percentage of, that's what was being spent on defense. So it's less than halved. That is scary. But what about the world, then leaderboard, or what's going on around the world? Is it just us? But check this out. Look at this. Military spending hits 2 trillion in 2019. So this was before the issue. Now look at America. 38% of GDP was spent on defense. Wow. 38%. That is a massive amount of finance thrown towards defending the United States. Look at the UK. 2.5%. 2.5% of our entire GDP went on defense. Compare that to our brothers across the pond in the US, 38%. That, my friends, is a 100% pure gold solid piss take in its total entirety. Where's this going to end? How bad is it going to get? Well, like I said earlier about when you join the dots and you look at the biggest picture, this is what scares me. So, look at this. This is from the House of Commons Library by UK Parliament. You can check on the URL at the top that this is a genuine article. This isn't fabricated, but look at the date. This is 2021. Okay, so during the lockdowns and all the rest of it, this was published. Not long after, it was scheduled for the 5th of January the next year, 2022. Look at this. Who can join for UK Armed Forces, nationality and residence requirements. Now, I want you guys to really understand what I'm about to say, especially the last sentence. The last sentence is a killer. Are you ready for this? People applying to join the UK's armed forces must either have a British or Commonwealth citizen or from the Republic of Ireland, either as a sole or dual national. So if you want to join the UK's armed forces, you must be in the British Commonwealth or a senior citizen. Sorry, got that wrong. Gurkhas serve under a special and unique arrangements. They remain citizens of Nepal during their service in the Brigade of Gurkhas. Now listen to this. This is where it gets really interesting. Previously, anyone who wished to join the armed forces also had to meet residency requirements. Are you ready? Unbelievable. These have varied over the years. In November 2018, the 5-year residency criterion for Commonwealth applicants to regular armed forces was removed. So yes, you don't have to be here 5 years. You just have to be a British citizen. That is crazy. I couldn't believe it. This is quite an interesting article. So if I remember, I'm going to try and stick that link underneath this video. Okay. Now, you ready? Here's where it gets really interesting. The citizenship. Wow. The stuff I found out in here is mind-blowing because it's a very good visual representation. The Migration Observatory. Okay, this is from the University of Oxford. Yes, the University of Oxford, the World Economic Forum member, of course. We're going to go through and see some casing points and some visual representations of what we're getting at here in this live stream. In 2021, 43% of foreign-born residents of England and Wales said that they were UK citizens, but this share was higher for non-EU-born, 59%, than the EU-born, 17% of migrants. As we know, most of the fighting-age males that are ending up here in the UK are non-EU nationals. They are from Africa and the Middle East, not the European Union. So yes, nearly 60% are from those countries. Wow, that just disappeared. Right, I hope we don't start to lose this document. Applications and grants of UK citizenship by previous nationality. So this just goes back 2005 up to 2022. So look at the amount of applications being granted for UK citizenships. There's pretty much nothing going on, okay? But look at this. From 2016, we started to see the rise. And as soon as we got to 2020, the magic year, look at that friggin' huge, great big spike. It went nuts. Absolutely nuts. Successful applicants for UK citizenship among non-EU citizens. Okay, so we're looking at the fighting age male migrants, non-EU, so Africa and the Middle East. Okay, unbelievable. 2022, 74. Wow, where did that go? What's going on here? 74%. Wow, unbelievable. That's insane. So who remembers what was going on with Rishi Sunak when he offered that fast track system? And I think Theresa May might have had some part of that as well. Not to mention the other scallywag who was there in between. She had her part to play as well. Even the visa entries, look at that. 78% in 2022. It's absolutely jumped sky from back in the day. Population by region of birth and passports held. This is in England and Wales, okay? So look, why does that do that? Right, so European Union. Look, when we go across. North America, Central America, all of it is there. Crazy. 16 to 24 years old. I don't know why this is doing this. Sorry about this, chaps. 58% share of foreign born who are UK citizens by migration. It's 2021. And yes, someone's making some money out of it too. So from 2016, when we saw the spike, the cost of it all goes up right from there. As you can see, this is pretty much creeping up slowly, and it jumps, and it goes up to, and it jumps again. This is going to jump this year too. Okay, look at that. The naturalization fee for adults was £1,580 per person. Yes, someone's making an awful lot of money about getting these migrants here into the UK. Look at this. Citizenship applications. Absolutely off the friggin' charts. 179,000. It's bonkers. So yes, if you want to, I'm not going to go through the whole thing because it's going to take ages to go through all of that. Now, bearing in mind, if you want to join the UK's armed forces, you need to be a UK citizen. Now, who remembers Richie Sunak offering the fast track to get migrants passports as soon as they could? It used to take 6 months plus or whatever. They was doing it in a week. The turnaround was insane. I think I remember reporting on this ages ago, and I mean, it's 20,000 people were literally on salary as part of the government scheme to literally fast track all of these migrants into the UK to get them citizenship. Citizenship. Important note. Look at this. Migrants in the UK. How many UK citizens are migrants? As of the year ending in June 2022, there was an estimated 10.388 million people in England and Wales who are not born in the UK. This accounts for approximately 14.8% of the total UK population. This was 1 year ago. I highly suspect in the last 12 months that this number rose somewhat dramatically. Okay, it's absolutely bonkers. So let me just drop into the chat real quick. Right, the migrants are to get biometric ID accepted. Yes, I remember doing that. And also there are currently 5 UK smart prisons. 2 are incomplete, 3 are complete. 1 is actually in service. 2 is probably in service now or not far off. So smart prisons, yeah. Bad people got to go somewhere. All of this lot isn't looking good at all. So one of the main things which has been reported is recruitment figures, as we discussed earlier, are at an all-time low. People just don't want to fight for this country anymore. Never before has the royal family been so unpopular. There's all sorts going on with the king. The top 4 senior members of the royal family have cancelled all public engagements. Someone in the family blew his brains out. Yeah, there's a cover-up. I know some of you guys are switched on to what's going on in the royal family. There's a lot that stinks in the royal family. Personally, I predicted last year that King Charles will not be king by the end of this year. All of this is slowly starting to pan out. So many of his stuff is linked and connected. It's insane. And if you think that Prince William's going to be king, no. I've got my money, believe it or not, on King Harry. That's how frigging crazy and absurd the 20s are right now. Okay. So going back to the RAF, or the Royal Chair Force, as some people lovingly refer to them as. Their recruitment drive is so woke, it's scary. When you talk about inclusion, trans, we have to have X amount percentage of certain colors to appear to be whatever. All of this non-binary crap. There are only two genders. If you're really confused about what gender you are, it's really simple. All you need to do is look down there and it will tell you what you are, whether you're a man or a woman. And if you decide that you want to change, that's okay with you. But please don't shout it from the rooftops. No one really gives a shit. Say it's no one's business but your own. So this woke stuff is being really pushed in recruitment drives. Now, I highly suspect that there is one part towards why we are seeing such a low recruitment drive. All of these little parts have their part to play. So you look at how unpopular the royal family are and how ridiculous they are. So many people are literally waking up to what's going on. So when you look at the King of England and what he actually is, really good friends with this evil bastard right here, Klaus Schwab from the World Economic Forum. Our king literally by royal assent signed over the Online Safety Act. Basically, there's no privacy online anymore. Everything is being monitored. Even if you think you're smart and you've got a VPN and you're using Wire or Briar or anything like that, guess what? This year, they are all going to be infiltrated. And if you want to use any private encrypted messaging platform, the only way that you're going to do it by the end of this year is you're going to have to permanently live outside of the mainland UK. Don't think you're going to get away with using the VPN, pretending you're in another country. No, you will get pinged with quantum computing and AI technology, advanced machine learning. You got no chance at all. So, Dad, if you're watching, good to see you. And yes, the woke stuff has got no place in the armed forces. The bottom line is the British military are trained to kill the enemy. How many highly trained killers are going to give a toss about gender, woke, all of this bullshit? At the end of the day, your primary role as a soldier is to kill the enemy. I can't really see these wishy-washy, trans, non-binary, bloody strange people running towards the enemy and killing them. I can't see it somehow. I really, really can't. Okay? It's got a little bit like America, unfortunately, where if you do a slightest little thing wrong or you make a mistake, you're sued. Okay? How many people are going to try and get into the British military and sue them because a trans person has broken their fingernail? Well, whoopee freaking snowflake. The British military has got no room for wishy-washy, liberal, pussy snowflakes. We need real men to fight real, nasty, horrible, bastard, evil wars. There's no room for this inclusion, woke crap. There absolutely isn't. The majority of the people in the UK have had it up to here with this alphabet people nonsense. It is. What about national service? Personally, I'm a huge fan of national service. As soon as you're 18 to the age of 19, here in the UK, you go into national service. When you're in national service, you are going to learn important life skills. The stuff that you're not going to be taught in schools. The stuff that they teach you in schools, really, how important are those skills going forward from 18? 18 now when you leave school. I thought it was 16. That must have changed a little while ago. That done my head in. So 5 years or 4 years old to 18, the state has got your ass. They are going to be heavily brainwashing and manipulating you or your kids into believing that people are responsible for the weather of this planet. It's all our fault. Climate change. Yeah. And it's okay if you want to pretend to be a woman for the day, or if you want to pretend to be a dog. Personally, anyone teaching that to kids in the UK should be instantly sacked, in my opinion. There's no room for that at school. So national service, you leave school, you're 18 years old, you do 1 year, exactly 1 year national service. You are going to be leaving that after 1 year, nice and fit and strong and healthy. You are going to learn important survival skills. You're going to be taught money management. You're going to be taught how to operate as a team or an individual, very important. You're going to learn first aid. You're going to learn how to handle weapons. All of these things are really seriously important and are not taught at schools. You are going to be taught how to grow food. The army marches on its stomach. What good a soldier are you going to be if you can't even grow frigging potatoes? You are going to be taught all of these things in my national service if I got my way. So when kids or young men leave national service after 1 year, they are going to have all of these skills. There's a good reason why these skills are not taught in the public state-owned education system. Why? The government, our enemy, yes, they are not your friends, they are your enemy. Yes, the last thing the government want is young people to be capable of thinking for themselves, not relying on anyone else, not being in debt. They certainly don't want young people to grow their own food. Yeah. If you can control your life without the aid of the NHS or the government, you are an absolute domestic terrorist. That is what the label is going to be called. This is why when people leave school on general, they haven't got a clue. And I'm really sorry if you're a parent and your kids just left school with all of these letters and names, all these grades or whatever. What do they know about first aid? How do they manage money? So national service, I believe, is going to be key moving forward. Okay. Now, if you come into the UK and you wanted citizenship, I would say you have to live here and work for a minimum of 10 years. Then you can apply for citizenship. All of these fighting age terrorists, criminals, rapists, etc., that have come over here unvetted, unchecked, walking on our streets right now, they got a passport. If they wanted to, they can go and join the army tomorrow. So how many have we got in the army? 70, 100,000, whatever it is these days? How many fighting age male migrants have come over here in the last 3 or 4 years and have now got passports? You are looking at basically the UK or the British Army being outnumbered in its own ranks by fighting age male migrants. How scary is that? We are seeing the same in America. Let me know via email. Contact me below this video if you want to. Leave a comment, or if you want to whack it in the live chat right now, please feel free to do so. If you're in Australia or any country in the Eurozone, what are you hearing and seeing about recruitment figures? Are they low? Are lots of people leaving the army last year? It'd be really interesting to collaborate and to get all of these dots connected, because I really do believe that this is a hostile takeover all of the countries in the West, and we are going to have a majority of fighting age male migrants in our armed forces literally doing as they're told, and we are not going to be their friends. Let's put it mildly. Okay, so you've got all of these foreign fighting age male migrants in our country now. Guess what? They're heavily armed. They're flying fighter aircraft. Yeah. How do you think that's going to go well? How is it going to pan out, and how is it going to go down? Not looking good. Yeah, our governments, our friendly, lovely governments, are absolutely doing as they're told. Yes. So we really need more people to join the military in the UK. in the Army, the Marines, the Paras, the SAS, the Navy, and indeed the Royal Chair Force. We need as many as we possibly can. Now, what I'm keen to see if I was Prime Minister is we basically remain in the UK in a defensive role. All of the armed forces and law enforcement should be focused on protecting anyone coming into this country illegally. Before we do that, every illegal immigrant which hasn't been checked, immediately deported out of the UK. There are way too many of those people here which are running our National Health Service into the ground. Hospitals, doctors, and dentists, they're literally crumbling because of so many migrants that would just come straight into the UK. And I know our brothers and sisters across the pond in America are getting the same shit. The difference is, in America, they've got patriots, heavily armed patriots. My question to anyone in America watching right now who owns a gun, why the friggin' hell aren't you doing anything about it? Why aren't you doing something about it? It's almost like the whole world is waiting for America and its patriots to take out government, everything else, and that will literally light the fuse for the whole world, and you will see the same. America, the world is waiting for you. How much longer are we going to wait? I can't understand it. How many millions of people with guns are there in America? And why did Biden fly 320,000 illegal, unchecked migrants into your country and not one single shot was fired in anger? What the hell is going? Is it a case of everyone's waiting till it's so bad and then they might do something? Well, let me tell you this. The clock on this is ticking. Speaking of the clock is ticking, just switching over to the live chat right now. It's been a while and it's 24.4 degrees in here. Well done, Firestarter. So, what have we got? Tell you what we got. One of my personal favorites. If anyone wants a really, really, really good drink, this is my personal favorite. And it has been for 3 years now, maybe longer actually. This stuff is the Mac Daddy on the left, the Woo Woo Mac. That stuff's a bad boy. It's awesome. And we're going to be drinking it out of a genuine, official King George pint pot. Yes, you don't really see these old school heavy duty mugs anymore. If you find one, get them. Not only is the value going to go skywards, you are going to be enjoying whatever drink you want out of a top quality, stylish, heavy duty pint pot. Okay, you can just see it on there. It's even got the pint mark. See? GR, Georgie boy. Right, so what we're going to do is we're going to pour. Now, I've never worked in a pub before, but it's not rocket surgery, really. You just do it slowly. It's nice to do it slowly. Right, honey? A job slowly done is surely done. Look at that. I don't know if you can hear the bubbles back there. It sounds gorgeous. Now, because this is bottle conditioned, you shouldn't really pour the whole lot in. That there is fine. That stuff, $16.98 is brilliant. So, everyone who wants to, cheers, people. Absolutely. Beats up, man. Good to see you, dude. So, yes, the border patrols. This is where we need to be here in the UK. Okay, we need to be as a defensive capability role, basically. So yeah, we're talking land, air, and sea patrolled continuously. So we're talking on the water, under the water, and in the air. we should have a protected island. The United Kingdom is an island, very, very easy to defend. But it's not very easy to defend if you've got a tyrannical Hitler Nazi government who wants to open the doors and let hundreds of thousands, if soon to be millions, of murderers from overseas into our country, to our unarmed citizens who pay taxes, who have been in the military and fought and died for this country. Our government is seriously the enemy. This is fact. If you believe that the government is your friend and they are going to help you, think again. When was the last time the government really, really helped you? Do you know how much the government is taking on fuel duty, on fuel tax? So every time you fill your car up with petrol or diesel, do you know how much money the government get? Rather a lot. Look into it. Some of you will tell the others in the live chat. 50%? Am I right? Am I wrong? Wait and see. So we really need a military which is going to look after this country. And when you hear these stories of military leaving the UK, some, which I've been hearing stories about, some were due to retire in 2 years' time. It got so bad that they left 2 years early. They couldn't even wait another 24 months. It's that bad with the underfunding, the lack of kit, not enough anything. There's just not enough. And to be fair, when you really look at this, when you boil away the piss, the British military has been in decline since the 60s, 1960s. Go back in history and look. In fact, any of you UK citizens who were in the military, i.e. you're a veteran, let everyone know what it was like when you joined up, the kit that you was issued. I done a stint for 3 years in the military, and the kit I was issued, unbelievable. That stuff was issued 1958 pattern weapon. I joined in 1989 when I got attested. I was still using the old canvas weapon, the old tin hat still, and the old SLR rifle. Yes, I was issued that to go and fight the Russians if we needed to at the end of the 80s. Unbelievable. The British military has been underfunded and has literally been pissed on from a great height for far too long. You can't deny the strength, the guile, the grit and determination of the British infantry soldier in particular, and everyone else who plays their part in the British military. They are something else. They are the salt of the earth. They are above many others. Look at the accommodation they get. Look at the crappy wages they get. Look at the help they get. When a British military personnel leaves, a career soldier, 20, 27 years in the army, when they leave, what help do they get? Now, the British military are one of the best, if not the best, fighting organizations on the planet. The training is unbelievable. Okay, we haven't lost that many wars, believe it or not. Okay, we've definitely won more than we've lost. And no, it's not a dig at America. But seriously speaking, the funding which goes towards keeping our boys and girls safe for the effort that they put in, how they are treated is unbelievable. When you join the military, they are experts in turning a human being into an intelligent, violent, killing machine. Let's not take the piss. That's the truth. Okay, the British military turn human beings into violent, clever killing machines. That's their job. Whether you like it, whether you agree with it or not, that's just how it is. Now, what happens when you give over a quarter of your lifespan to that organization, believing that you are doing your part to defend your country, to ensure that your kid and your grandkids' freedoms remain, that we're not invaded by the Germans? Okay, what happens when they leave? What support do they get? Zilch. That's what. It even goes to organizations like this. Okay, Combat Stress, who I'm supporting this year. It's a charity. They don't get money from government. If they do, it's not that much. So, where are the British military and the UK government when veterans, when they leave the army? What help do they get? I'll tell you what help they get. Naff all. Why? Because it should be becoming more apparent that the government and the royal family are wrong-uns. We're putting that really mildly, okay? Yeah, it's unbelievable. Carl, thank you for that donation on PayPal. You're a star. Yeah, the walk coming up, it's not going to be far away now. It's going to be on YouTube on a video. I won't be able to do it live because we're ongoing. It's so far in the back mountains. There's just no signal. I can't get any internet to do a live stream. Otherwise, I would. But it's just going to be a video when I go and do this walk. They said 10 miles, but I'm going to do an extra one. I'm going to go over 11 miles. And that's coming out real soon. So I'm trying to do my bit in helping out veterans who literally don't get any help from the government. How screwy, how effed up and sad is that? But it's the truth. What's it like in the US? If you're watching from America right now and you're a veteran, did you get loads of help from the government, from Uncle Sam, when you finished your service, when you retired, etc.? Was there any organizations? Was there financial help? Was there mind stuff to try and turn that killing machine back into a human being? Was that available? It would be really, really good. Carl, you're an absolute star, mate. I really appreciate that. But yes, this is where it's going. I do believe we're at breaking point now because the amount of military that are leaving the UK military is insane. 7,000 in 1 year. What's it going to be this year? Another 7,000? Maybe 10,000. It's going to come to a point when this country is spread so friggin' thin on the ground. If we ever did get invaded by Russia or China, what chance do you think we've got at defending ourselves? What chance do you think we've got with a generation of snowflakes who literally aren't strong enough? They can't fight. It's down to us, the Generation Xers. I'm in my 50s now. So it's down to us to make sure that we are fit and strong, because when this war comes down the road, and don't think this is bullshit, it is coming down the road, we need to make sure we're fit and strong enough to handle whatever comes our way, because we are not going to have a big enough military to defend this country. That absolutely makes me feel sick to the stomach to having to say that to you guys watching this. I never thought I'd hear myself say it. You know, this country has a huge, age-old, long tradition of British military service. 1664, when the Royal Marines were formed. That was before friggin' America even existed. There's regiments in the UK that are older than all of America itself. Yeah, that's fact. And what's happening now? We once had the greatest navy on the planet. Admiral Lord Nelson. Guess what? That's my grandfather 6 times removed. Yeah, who would have thought it? Believe it or not, it's true. So the military history that we've got in the UK is unbelievable. The things that we've achieved. The Falklands War was unbelievable against all odds, losing all of that logistical support. D Squadron 22 SAS, so much hampered their operation in the Falkland Islands. That's just one operation out of many. Look at what happened in Afghanistan. Any of you guys that were out in the sandpit on Helic, let us know in the chat. Honestly, the stuff that I've heard from friends who was out there, the amount of kit and equipment that was issued to them was friggin' embarrassing, friggin' shocking, friggin' appalling, and absolutely friggin' disgusting. How dare our government send our brave men and women all the way across the other side of the world to fight in the desert with shit kit? How many died because of shit kit. The SA-80A1 was a pile of crap. The world's most useless bloody rifle. How many stoppages? How many soldiers died just using that weapon? What about the armoured vehicles, the 3/4-ton Land Rovers that had freaking Perspex glass? Yeah, great. Let's send some people in a Land Rover and put plastic glass. So when a bullet goes through that plastic glass, guess what? It kills everyone inside. Great idea. Thank you for that, kind government. Thank you for spending all of our hard taxpayers' money in protecting our brave servicemen overseas. It's not good. It's very bad, actually. But this is a growing trend. The bottom line is where's the money going? Where's the money going? Everyone contributing to the system? And look at what our armed forces are getting. Yeah, they're getting laid off. They're getting issued crap kit, which just is not up to the job. Here you go. Here's a question for you. How many veterans watching this right now has spent their own money on buying their own kit and equipment? Hands up. I did. I had to replace nearly all of my stuff. The only stuff that I had left was the socks. The rest of it I bought myself because the stuff I was issued back in the infantry was shit. It was not up to the job. I had to buy everything. And I was fortunate at the time. Any of you guys watching right now remember Arctis and remember SASS over in Lancaster? If it wasn't for those guys, I'd be running around in shit issue kit. Yeah, great fun. Remember the KF shirts made out of wool that made you itch red raw? They were so bad. They literally got binned. Why issue that crap knowing full well that no one's going to wear it? It's a frigging embarrassment. It's a frigging joke. We're talking men and women in the UK putting their frigging lives on the line to try and ensure some degree of freedom in this falling empire of ours, only to be issued with crap which was not fit for purpose 50 years ago. Yeah. And in fact, the kit that they're issued now, that Virtus stuff, you would be very, very lucky to use that kit after one tour in Afghanistan. After one tour, that kit, which our men and women are being issued, will be shredded. It's literally the cheapest crap that they make in China. They are giving it to our brave boys and girls, and it's just not up to the job. It really is crap, to be honest. Personally, I believe the PLC stuff was way better than that crap they got now. It's lightweight, it's flimsy, it falls apart, it rips, it tears. It is not fit for combat use. It absolutely is not. I'd love to get some of that stuff and show you guys close up. It's so crap. It's an embarrassment. So yes, lots of people are leaving the armed forces in the UK. But like we figured out earlier, it's the Americans as well. 32,000 in America. Gone. Yeah. Look at the recruitment. Look at the influx. Look at the intake of new recruits. It's practically negligible. It's that piss poor. It's really bad. So we are seeing not just the armed forces, but the police as well. They are leaving their jobs. When they started talking about that woke alphabet crap, lots of people, that was the straw that broke the camel's back for lots of military and police to go, screw this, I'm out of here. Why the hell would I bother upholding these ridiculous laws? So the problem we've got is, especially with the police, right? Now, I've always said this, and I'm always going to say this. I don't give a toss what you say. What I'm saying is this. There are good police and there are bad police. Don't you dare say that all police are bad and are all crooks and whatever. There's good and bad police. So if you think that all police are really bad, they're scum, pigs, or whatever it is, let me ask you this one simple question. How long do you think you're going to survive if all of a sudden there are no police in the UK? You'd be lucky to make a week and you'll be dead. So whether you like it or not, we do need police. And yes, there are bad police. I know, I'm not stupid. I was born and bred in Portsmouth for nearly 50 years. Yeah. 4.5 square mile island, 260,000 people. Trust me, shit was going down there daily. It was a rough place to be. and there were good police. They were really good police, and there were arsehole police. It's like it everywhere. Nowhere is any different. Okay? It's the same with soldiers. You've got really good, switched on soldiers, and then you've got the arrogant, struggling squaddy. I hate that word, squaddy. They're professional soldiers. They have a professional job to carry out. They get better, they get more efficient, they get smarter, they rise through the ranks, and they teach and train and pass on some of their very, very important skills and all of the things which they've learned via their own experiences, how to try and put back into the system to produce better soldiers, to making sure that as many as possible survive and they don't get wiped out because they were trained poorly. So yes, there are good and there are bad everywhere. Okay, it really boils my piss when people say, you know, ACAB, all cops are bastards. They're not. You might have met 100 police and they're all arseholes. So does that mean that every copper in the UK is an arsehole as well? Have you personally met all of the 70,000 coppers? And do you know them? No, of course you don't. So why do you say that all of them are bad? There's good and bad. And whether you like it or not, without them, trust me, you're going to be brown bread. It's how it is. We don't like it. Everything needs to change. Yes, the system is falling apart. Something needs to change. And guess what? This year in the UK, from May onwards, there is an election, a general election. So a big one, every 5 years now. Who remembers it used to be 4 years? Then the Tories got their way, and now it's 5 years. So what I'm suspecting to happen is because the Tories, under the guise of Rishi Sunak, who is not elected at all, by the way, who is Muslim, by the way, as well as the guy up in Scotland, by the way, the guy in Birmingham, by the way, the Mayor of London, by the way, you can see where this is going. If you can't see that this is a takeover of the West by Islam, basically, then I'm really, really sorry to say this, but you need to open your eyes and wake up and smell the coffee. Yeah, I'm going to be doing a YouTube video review on a French ration pack in the next couple of weeks. And do you know what it says on there in big letters? No pork. I've done video reviews on British military ration packs. Do you know what it says on all of the ration packs now in Britain? Halal. All of the meat in British military rations are halal meat. If they're not, they soon will be. The majority is. How does that make you feel? What about the music? When you hear pop music, personally, I can't stand it. Any music produced after the year 2000, I've got no time for. I don't care. That's just me. I'm old school. I like stuff from the 80s and the 90s and some of the 70s and 60s. Anything from the year 2000 is X Factor, manufactured bullshit crap, and I'm not interested. There might be a couple, fair enough. But the stuff that I hear when I go in shops or whatever and I hear the radio on, it makes me want to puke. Why? Because I am noticing stuff. What am I noticing? The underlying tone with the majority of popular music in the UK sounds like it's come from friggin' Mecca. It's unbelievable. Can't you hear that Islamified tone to nearly all of the music? It's changing the culture. Yeah. And the British government, all they are doing is lining their pockets. All they got to do is spend 5 years doing as they're told. They don't care about any of us. And it just moves the agenda forward. They get their big payout. They make loads of flash business contacts. When they leave their term in government, they are going to set up private limited companies. Hell, look at Tony Blair. Do you know how much money Tony Blair has made since he left as Prime Minister? Not long after 2005 when he got in. Do you know how much money that evil bastard has made? A lot. If you don't believe me, do a little search and you'll be mind blown. The amount of prime ministers who have left and using that opportunity to get as many contacts as possible to start up as many business interests as possible. So they are literally set for life. They are going to be licking the asses of the World Economic Forum, the United Nations and the World Health Organization and all of the other twisted, corrupt, unelected evil bastards. All of these people, they are literally doing as they're told. and they get rewarded. Boom, they've got a nice lifestyle, etc., whatever. And what happens to us lot? Hey, we get even more screwed. We get screwed right in the ass because of them. The tide is changing. More and more people are waking up to all of this stuff that's going on. So I would please ask you again, if you could please share this video. You go underneath, you click share, and you stick it all over your groups on WhatsApp, Facebook, because I can't. I'm not on any of those groups. But I know some of you are. And if you're not, send the link to someone who you know is. And if they do it, great. Because these sorts of videos tend to get demonetized on YouTube. I.e., guess what? No advertisers want to come near my videos because of the things that I talk about. Because no one wants to put their advertising or their products onto a video which is talking about things like this. So all of you guys who share my videos, all of you guys who donate in the live chat, who donate on PayPal, buy me a coffee, Ko-fi, all of those things are absolutely helping. All of you guys who hit the thumbs up on my video, all of you guys who subscribe and hit that notification bell, you won't believe how much it helps. And I know 6,000 of you right now have signed up for my newsletter, which I'm trying to send out every single week to try and inform and educate as many people as I possibly can. Banging my head on the wall, saying this stuff. I've been saying it for a year and a half now, at the minimum. All of this stuff is falling into place. And I firmly believe that we are at breaking point, just as the title says. Our military numbers are declining. The fighting age male migrant numbers are increasing, not just in the UK, all over the West. Here's the UK military. The numbers are going down like this. Here's the migrants going up like this. So when all of these big lump of migrants here, when they become citizens, which is very quick and easy to do, they get a passport. Guess what? They can go, do you know what? We're going to join the military. Think. And that military goes woof. What percentage of the UK military in 5 years from now are going to be Muslim, and which ones are going to be British nationals, for want of a better term? I highly suspect if we or someone doesn't do something about this, that it's going to be 60% plus Muslims in our armed forces and law enforcement within 5 years. Less than that, probably. It's shocking, it's scary, it's heartbreaking, it's downright frigging frightening. But when you start looking at the bigger picture, when you take your little blinkers off, if you'll get stuck into that BBC bullshit or GB News, what a load of bullshit GB News is. If you really want to watch programs and watch people talking over each other and arguing and sensationalizing stuff, watch GB News. If you really think you're going to change the UK by voting reform, really? Look who's behind it. Think again. Do your research. Spend your time looking into where the money's coming from. Who's heard of the term follow the money? Please follow the money. You're going to be shocked, because the more time you spend following the money, who's fundraising this, who's supporting this, who's financing that, government, bodies, think tanks, etc. My God. Here you go. The Wicker Man. GB News is controlled opposition. I 100% agree with you, sir. And also, I believe that cock, Russell Brand, is controlled opposition. That jerk, Elon Musk, is controlled opposition. The Reform Party is controlled opposition. GB News, absolutely controlled opposition. Redacted, the YouTube channel, 100% controlled opposition. Yeah. So where does that leave us? I'll tell you where it leaves us. It leaves us in small communities of people that we know and trust to dig around and ask questions. What we need to do as a collective is to question everything. I mean everything. Question everything. See what your instincts and your intuition and your gut feeling says on receipt of your questions being said. Go from there. Start learning. Start opening your eyes. Start listening. Start looking at the bigger picture. So, redacted is CIA. Do you know what, man? It wouldn't surprise me. I can't believe how many people believe QAnon, the white hats, Donald Trump's going to save the world. Some people even think Putin's amazing. Well, did you know before Putin went into Ukraine, he was a World Economic Forum member? As soon as he went into Ukraine, guess what was removed from the World Economic Forum website? Yeah, Putin. So, yeah, Trump, he's absolutely doing his part. He's doing as he's told, for sure. Remember warp speed? Yeah, that was a really good idea, wasn't it? Would you trust that stuff? Anyway, I could really go off tangent here, but the main majority, oh, there you go. Yes, like and share the video, folks. That is seriously going to help, okay? Because as you know, I've been shadow banned for a long time. It appears that the lift of the shadow ban has happened, but we are still getting all sorts of stuff with demonetization, which basically means, if you don't know, when I do a YouTube video, the money from advertising is stopped. Don't get anything. So if you're trying to make a living doing YouTube as your main job, you have to remember that every single penny that goes in, YouTube take 40%. And that is nowhere near a high tax bracket, I should add. Yeah, I know. The funding, demonetized. No, it's affecting the terms and conditions. We don't like it when you talk about the LGBT community. We don't like it when you talk about climate change. We don't like it when you talk about the farmers' protests. And I could go on and on and on and on and on. The bottom line is, I'm using this platform to reach to as many people as I possibly can. Hence, you guys sharing this really helps, like you wouldn't believe. Because if people don't share my videos, I don't know how long I can go on doing this. And you guys who have supported me financially are incredible. Hopefully, we're going to get to a point this year where I'm not going to rely on that so much. We're trying to move forward. But let me tell you this, because I keep getting shadow banned, finances are a nightmare. It's very difficult to break out of that where we don't need to sort of rely on that as much. So all of you who have carried me all of this way for so long, I can't thank you enough. You guys are awesome. Like I said, if you need to learn anything about what I've been talking about, look at the links underneath in the description box. Everything is there, the whole thing. I've talked about it at the start of the video. If you missed it, please go right to the beginning and watch the first 15 minutes, and then you're going to understand all of the important stuff is underneath this video. So, like I said earlier, what have we got here? Pure blood. Oh yeah, of course. I think most of us are. We need alien tech, 100%. Really? My God. Thank you for that, Dale. That's awesome. AMG again. Yorkshire. Alien, 100%. Someone likes aliens in Yorkshire. Unbelievable. Why would youngsters want to be in the military? Well, Owen, that's a really good question, mate. Because back in the day, job prospects wasn't all that. So if you weren't that good at school, you didn't get many qualifications. Most poorer kids ended up going into the military. Some of them found their niche. They found themselves in a family and they rose through the ranks and they ended up doing really well in a career in the military. But this was back in the day. Now, because of the internet, this is my opinion, because of the internet, information is getting out there about how shady our royal family is. No one respects and trusts the royal family anymore. If you do, my God, you really need to look at what they're up to. One sinister, privileged, evil cult, which is the royal family. And if that offends you, if you're serving military or you're a veteran, I can understand it. I get it. It's not till you really start asking questions, looking into it, and speaking to other veterans about what they're finding out. And it's the ultimate betrayal. It's shocking. It's hard. It sucks. It's so beyond belief. Now, I am trying to contact a friend of mine who served in Afghanistan, and he's an author and he writes books now. Now, he runs a podcast, Veteran State of Mind. His name is Geraint Jones. Now, I'm going to hopefully very soon be in contact with him again because we've lost touch since Christmas. Lots been going on. I'm going to try and get him on to do a podcast about what his thoughts and opinions are about veterans who have left the military only to find how evil and corrupt the government and the royal family are. I think that that number of military veterans who are waking up, who are becoming aware of the two organizations, is growing crazy. But we need to be there and help and support these veterans who are waking up. I can't think of a worse place to be. I can't think what it is like to go and join up, to do your training, to go to combat, to lose friends, to lose limbs, etc. To come out because of some mental illness or condition, to be completely left on the shelf, unloved, uncared for, and unheard. Only to find out that your bosses, the government and the royal family, are evil and corrupt as hell. To finally learn all of that after all of that is enough. In most cases, game over. Living on the streets, drugs, alcohol, suicide, prison, all of that. So I really do feel massively for the veterans who are finding out the truth about what's going on with the employers. And I suspect that might have some reflection regarding the amount of recruitment figures and why they are so low. More and more people are waking up. That's why, Owen, youngsters aren't joining the military anymore. Yeah, good question. Well, we go. John, thank you, mate. I recognise that. It's a member as well. Awesome. All the best of luck on your 11-mile charity march with full kit for a very worthwhile charity. Thank you very much for that, sir. I really appreciate that. And yes, it's going to be good. It's going to be a good test. So yeah, and it's all going to be on a YouTube video. So stay tuned for that this month. And lastly, M. Terry, thank you for that super sticker, sir. That is very, very kind. That's absolutely awesome. What have we got here? Denise Hall, I'm not going to say the rest. Nearly did. Yeah, thank you very much. So yes, you guys, if you can hit the thumbs up. If you can share the video, that's the most important. If you can please share it, even if it's just for a couple of people, it all helps. If everyone shared this video to one person or more, we will be getting places. We'll be getting new people join our community. We're going to be getting more questions answered. Our numbers are growing. Like I said earlier on in the video, the amount of people who have joined on board now is insane. It's really, really insane. 133,000 YouTube subscribers. You guys are the bomb. So yes, if you can like the video, share it, subscribe, notification bell. You guys are amazing. And everyone who's donated, my God, I'm truly humbled. I didn't expect the love shown tonight, and it all helps. It really does. It helps keep this channel going more than you realize. And last but not least, everyone who's taken part in the live stream tonight, I really appreciate your time, because after all, time is the most precious commodity. And I fully respect everyone who stuck right to the end of this live stream and communicated in the comment section after this video, or if you're watching right now in the live stream, it's amazing. Pamela, I hope your phone's fixed, by the way, after AT&T nonsense. Crazy. And Pilgrim, Rachel Gregory, everyone's in the house. You guys are fantastic. Bloody brilliant. Really appreciate it. We got Anglo-Saxon as well. Awesome. Ian, Peter, Cornish Bob. Good to see you, mate. Yeah, really, really help. You guys really, really help. The moderators, oh my God, that's the last but not least. The moderators. I'm telling you, if we didn't have good moderators, the amount of arseholes that's going to have it wrong in the chat will be through the roof. So the guys and girls in blue, fantastic. There we go. What about Princess Diana? Wow. Just quickly, my opinion, one of the reasons why King Charles is not going to be king this year is because it will come out about the truth of what happened to Lady Diana. All I'm going to say is two words. Boston breaks. Right. You guys take care. Thanks for watching. Stay funky.